Hello everyone and welcome back into another video. Today we're once again back in Warframe for another build, and this time we're having a look at the Sporothrix. This Infested sniper rifle has been in the game for a while. The problem is nobody really uses it, and that's a bit sad because this weapon is actually pretty good. First of all, the shots will explode, so that it is considered kind of an explosive weapon, which means it has a nice AoE, but there is one little annoying thing, which is that AoE that will stagger you, so be careful, do not shoot too close to your feet or in front of you, because yeah, stagger will happen, and even very heavy staggers if you shoot too close to yourself. So yeah, be careful, but the weapon is worth it, and I mean, you really have to shoot at your feet to actually get staggered, so yeah, it's not gonna happen very often. It does not have any additional zoom, there's only 2.7x and a 50% headshot damage multiplier on your scope, but that's enough introductions for now, so let's jump into the build. The Sporothrix is not your usual weapon. The fire rate is quite high with a very low magazine of only 9. Reload is quite long at 2.7 seconds. Trigger is semi, and this will be important later. Riven disposition is 4 out of 5, so if you have any Rivens, they are worth using, and you should actually invest in one because I think they are pretty cheap. This weapon does not have any crit chance at all, but it does have a critical multiplier of 3x, so if you are using Harrow or anything else that increases your crit chance by a flat amount, then yes, building for crits would actually be an interesting idea. But as you can see, this weapon shines on status because it has a base of 53%. And as we said, this weapon does also have an explosion, and the range for the explosion is only 1.7 meters, but that's fine because we have ways to fix this. And the explosion is actually great because it deals both viral and slash damage. The explosion happens after 0.9 seconds of you shooting the enemy, so you first won't see anything happen other than the actual damage from the bullet, but then after 0.9 seconds you'll see the explosion that will deal both viral and slash damage. And the stats for the explosion are the same as the base stats on your primary fire. Now moving to the actual build, I'm using thermite rounds and rime rounds for blast damage and a lot of status chance, Malignant Force for toxin damage and more status chance, Galvanized Chamber for more multishot and on kill even more multishot, Galvanized Aptitude for even more status chance and on kill 40% more direct damage per status type affecting the target up to 2 stacks, Rifle Elementalist for more status damage and a bit more punch through, Semi-Rifle Cannonade, which is what makes this weapon so damn strong, increases our damage by 240% and also gives us 1.5 meters of punch through. It does also lock our fire rate, but I mean, in this case, it doesn't really matter. And finally, we are using Volatile Variant. This is a Nightwave exclusive mode, so the only way you have to get it is either by checking the Nightwave shop, or if you just want it right now, you can buy it from other players, although it might be a bit expensive. So yes, this mode is needed for the build because it makes the weapon so much stronger, but don't worry too much about it, eventually you will be able to get it. And the reason why you need this mode is that it does increase your punch through by 3, and barbs will now explode instantly. That means there is no more delay after the embed. As you can see, it's gone, it's just 0 now, and the explosion gets an additional 4 meters of range, so it reaches 5.7 meters, and it has an additional 50% status chance. So we get more punch through, barbs will now explode instantly, they have a bigger blast radius, and they also gain additional status chance, which is pretty much all we want for this weapon. And finally, in my arcane slot, I'm running Primary Blight. This is a very interesting arcane because it does increase both your crit damage and multishot by an X amount, depending on the level of the arcane, up to 40 stacks every time you apply a toxin status effect. And since we are building toxin on the weapon, this basically means free multishot and I guess crit damage, although crit damage won't be that important for us. In total, we gain an additional 60% more multishot, which is very good. And that's pretty much the build. Let's now see it in action. Alright, so as always we have our 20 Corrupted Heavy Gunners level 225 with Steel Path modifiers, because that's pretty much the highest thing I can spawn in here, and they are very tanky. But this weapon doesn't really seem to care. Yeah, enemies are already dying after almost a full magazine though, but that's fine. As you can see, the reload does take a bit. But the explosions are actually insane, and they will destroy everything. What we can do is group up all the enemies in one spot, and yeah, in that case they're dead. Like, it does literally take not even a full magazine to kill all of them, which is insane. And if you're using a better grouping Warframe like Vauban or I guess even Nidus, yeah, your enemies won't stand a chance. Now I'm also going to add my little cat here, my Panzergruppaphyla, because yeah, this little animal here does help with damage quite a lot. So let's now see what happens with also my cat spreading viral before we shoot the enemies, because that's always better. And I mean, it does also shape their armor, so you know, makes everything a lot squishier, and we can just blast through them a lot faster, which is great. As you can see, we are also applying a lot of toxin, which does deal some DOT damage, and that takes care of whatever health they have left after we shoot with them with the first shot. That was a 1.5 million tick, which is, you know, enough to kill anything pretty much. So yeah, the weapon is very strong, and I'm actually surprised I haven't seen anybody use this weapon, because it's really, really strong. Now let's do it one more time by actually grouping enemies though. And come on, cat, do your magic. And there's the magic. There we go. There's the magic. Everything is now dead. All it took was 5 shots, and everything is now dead. It might not be as good as some Incarno weapons, but I think killing 20 very high level enemies in 5 shots is more than enough for a weapon that's very easy to acquire. And of course, to all of that, we can even add a roar buff or any other kind of buff you want. And, well, things are going to happen. Yep, they are gonna explode in 3 bullets now. There was a something million there. Yeah, this weapon is really, really strong. And if you happen to have a Raven, you can try and roll for more heat, more cold damage, more multi-shot, or more status chance. Those are all great stats, and that's pretty much the Sporothrix. I am very surprised about this weapon. It might become a bit useless against like acolytes or enemies of that type that do not take that much status damage, but I think for anything else it's gonna be pretty good. And now, before moving to the actual showcase, I wanna say something, and that is, we are almost at 1,000 subscribers. So yeah, if we can make that before the end of the year, that will be pretty cool, and that will also well, make sure that I do something special, because that's what I want to do. So yeah, leave a like and subscribe for more content, and if you found the video, I guess, interesting, I will now leave you guys to the showcase where I test the weapon in a 5-minute survival in stealth path in a Grenadier tile set, so you can see how the weapon performs in a more realistic scenario. Have a great rest of the day, and bye-bye.
You pretend though you don't have to play the hero, 'cause I got you like you got me. When the earth shakes, when the bombs scream, until our last breath, every heartbeat. up my sword, yeah, there's nothing I won't do. When you sound the alarms and the chaos is rising, leading the charge, I am coming to fight. I swear on the breath that I breathe, I'll never retreat, yeah, I'll be your army.
Blame it on me. You're just too scared to be lonely. No one's safe from the reaper, not a saint nor a sinner. Rage under my skin, slowly descending to madness. Let it spread like a virus. Be a friend with the violence. Hell, there's blood on my hand. Somebody save me from myself. I'm off with the meds and it might get hideous. Why so serious? Run for your life, cause it might get hideous. Why so serious? Change, can you say a song? Never mind, I forgot where I came from. Like wolves in the darkness, we've adapted to blindness. Fall asleep with the sirens. Hell, there's blood on my hands. Somebody save me from myself. I'm off with the meds and it might get hideous. Why so serious? Run for your life, cause it might get hideous. Why so serious? Run for your life, cause it might get hideous. Why so serious?